A new Chinese animation is on its way to becoming a box office hit. Ne Zha 2 has already broken the record for China's highest grossing film.
So you're telling me that there's a new movie in theaters that is somehow already the highest grossing animated film of all time?
It's based off a Chinese folklore that millions of Chinese would already be familiar with.
The world first responded to Ne Zha with a who? Well, Ne Zha the boy is a character from ancient Chinese lore famed for stirring up the sea. Ne Zha the film is a Chinese animated blockbuster that's stirring up global cinemas.
Oh my gosh, amazing. It was incredible. Such a beautiful film. It was the first Chinese animation that I've seen, and I absolutely loved it.
They're going to be surprised with all the graphics that's in it, how the movie just pop out at you.
I love the clothing and the music, and I love the dragons. The dragons are really cool. I love fictional animals, so that was really cool.
It's a non-Western narrative breakthrough. Ne Zha 2, a sequel to the 2019 hit, now ranks 7th on the all-time global box office chart. The first film produced entirely outside Hollywood to claim such a spot. The film, based on the legend of the demon child, is writing a legend of its own. While Ne Zha 2 makes a splash in the cinematic world, its ripples reach far beyond the big screen. Yibin in southwest China's Sichuan province. The city perched on the banks of the Yangtze River has always attracted seasonal visitors. But this year, tourism has soared, with the city claiming historic ties to the boy god. Cuiping Mountain, home to the Ne Zha Palace. Legend has it that after his tragic death, he appeared in his mother Lady Yin's dream, asking her to build him a palace on Cuiping Mountain. The mythological tale is the foundation of the shrine's existence.
I come from Guangdong province. I saw the movie, so I wanted to come visit this temple.
Because of the huge popularity of the Ne Zha movie, I wanted to bring my child here to experience the Ne Zha atmosphere.
I come from Xi'an. I am honored to visit this place. I feel that Ne Zha inspires us to break through our limits and change our circumstances.
Hotel bookings in Yibin spiked by 30 to 50% year-on-year in the week following the release of the film. Tourist traffic to the Ne Zha Palace reached up to 8,000 visitors a day, 3 times the usual number.
I especially remember one auntie who told me that she traveled over 20 hours from Guangdong province just to visit our Ne Zha Palace. Her group of more than 10 people made the same long trip, and there were even tourists from Thailand and other countries.
The film is making waves in Southeast Asia, dominating the silver screen in Singapore, and being rolled out in the Philippines, Malaysia, and Thailand. Here in Yibin, though, Ne Zha is far more than just a screen hero.
Locals here told me there was an old temple on this side which was built centuries ago, and this one standing right now was built or rebuilt back in 1991. So we can see there's a long-standing Ne Zha worship tradition here in Yibin City, and it's not something that's just been invented for tourism. And that tradition is something that the locals here are actually quite proud of.
In Yibin, from folk traditions to ancient relics, attractions and cultural sites linked to Ne Zha can be traced back at least 1,000 years. There are more than 20 historical and cultural landmarks related to Ne Zha, from the divine child's descent to the havoc in the East Sea, including Ne Zha's palace, Chentang Pass, Ne Zha's birthplace, and Rebirth Pavilion, all of which mirror the narratives found in the myths. As a result, many regard this city as the hometown of Ne Zha. Viewing him as a child of Yibin is a sentiment deeply felt by the locals.
Online, a playful battle rages. Which city is Ne Zha's true hometown? Cities staking their claims, citing geographical and historical references. Tianjin is also making a strong case. The city in northeastern China has a sub-district named Chentangzhuang, and according to local lore, it equates to Chentang Pass, the very area once garrisoned by Ne Zha's father.
We launched 4 themed routes called Nezha Takes You Around Tianjin that showcase Nezha's elements through in-depth guided tours.
The Nezha origin battle has triggered some skepticism. Critics say that Nezha is a mythical figure, so there can't be a bona fide hometown. Perhaps it's not a factual title to be won, but other experts see the clashing claims as a win for all, fueling cultural pride and sparking consumer spending.
Some places might not even have deep historical ties to Nezha, yet he belongs to all of China, a shared cultural icon for every Chinese. That's why regions and organizations have every right to ride the Nezha wave and channel his energy to build their own cultural and tourism initiatives. It's a business strategy, and it fuses local strength with high-profile IP elements. It's a creative integration. In a sense, wherever there are Chinese communities, you will see Nezha-inspired cultural tourism emerging. This isn't just a regional affair. It's a nationwide, pan-Chinese cultural tourism bonanza.
Yibin's claim is strong. In 2019, the city was awarded the title of Hometown of Nezha Culture by China's Folk Literature and Art Association. But the film plus tourism model is driving a wanderlust all across China. Online travel platforms reported that searches for Nezha 2 related attractions surged over 40% in February. Li Xiang, an associate professor at Sichuan University's College of Arts, believes the travel boom isn't just about trends, it's about pride.
From the end of last year to the beginning of this year, China has experienced a series of cultural events, including the explosive success of Black Myth Wukong, as well as advancements in artificial intelligence like DeepSeek. I believe these events might, in turn, stimulate cultural consumption, because, in a very tangible way, they've strengthened people's cultural confidence and their sense of identity with the country's culture.
Black Myth Wukong, China's first blockbuster video game. Since its launch last August, it quickly set the record for the second most concurrent player count on Steam.
But what solidified the milestone status?
My colleague Yang Chengxi reporting on its success during the height of the monkey fever.
Wukong is a character in the classic novel Journey to the West, which for many non-Chinese gamers worldwide is known primarily through loosely adapted anime and games from outside China. Black Myth Wukong represents the first major opportunity for a Chinese team to present its own interpretation of this ancient classic.
For the longest time, I got to play as Japanese ninjas, Arab assassins, and Greek gods. And now I'm playing as this powerful Chinese monkey in a AAA game.
China has much more to offer for the global gaming scene, and many would hope that this is only a start.
It's only a start on many fronts. Black Myth Wukong was seen as a milestone, a super IP which has laid down the infrastructure for a cross-industry gold rush. Co-branded goods flew off the shelves, from collectible figurines to coffees and stamps, bikes to clothing. Where Wukong cracked the door, Nezha kicked it open.
Character-driven toy stores are the hangout spot for China's Generation Z nowadays. The practical purpose of these toys is probably zero, but for young buyers, they're emotional anchors, almost like owning a piece of the stories that you love.
These products sold out just days after the film came out and are now available only through pre-order, with some waiting time stretching into the summer.
It's really popular, completely sold out. It's out of stock nationwide. If you want to buy it, you will have to wait until June.
It's beginning to look like a page from Hollywood's playbook. A successful IP doesn't just live on the big screen. It reigns a business empire.
Some of my favorite stuff we do at Marvel are the toys.
By some estimates, Marvel's merchandise sales topped $40 billion by 2020, more than every single Marvel movie combined. And then there are the Disney World rides that rack up 70% of the company's operating income. Nezha's IP journey has only just begun. To grow into a Marvel-like franchise, it needs a fully developed commercial ecosystem.
Only when China's film market grows in scale with a mature industrial system and each IP gains stability will market risk drop and development will gain steam. Ultimately, industry spawned from an IP should have no boundaries. It's limitless. Anything can be bolstered by an IP plus approach. We all have basic needs: clothing, food, shelter, transport, and our demands drive consumption, and consumption creates new markets.
Driving the IP's growth is more than just fandom. The film also rekindles a deep sense of cultural pride, which in turn feeds into its success. The storyline is loosely inspired by the Ming Dynasty novel Investiture of the Gods, dating back 500 years. Cutting-edge technology helped to bring ancient stories to life.
This is where it all started for Ne Zha, an unassuming office in a government-subsidized incubator park in Chengdu. The place has become a tourist attraction itself, symbolizing how a scrappy, homegrown team has flipped the script on global cinema.
For too long, Chinese stories were filtered through a Western lens. Mulan's warrior spirit translated into a Disney musical. Kung Fu Panda's humor wrapped in Hollywood punchlines.
Don't tell Monkey.
But the lens is shifting with Ne Zha too. Executive producer Chen Changjiang told me the team's decision to keep all productions in China rather than outsourcing it abroad was driven by a deeper cultural connection. People who lived the story must tell it.
The domestic team all speak the same language, so no translation is needed. When you mention Ne Zha, they know everything about him, his past, his future, his origin. For example, something as simple as the golden cudgel, we all know what it is, the staff used by the Monkey King, the sea-coming needle. Over there, they don't know that. You have to explain to them where the golden cudgel came from, how it was made, and you end up explaining the entire 5,000 years of history. So this is the communication issue that arises from cultural differences during collaboration.
Critics had worried it might be too Chinese to travel, but raving reviews quickly dismissed those concerns.
So it's obviously there's a lot of great action, but there's also a lot of touching scenes. There's also a lot of philosophy. And I think it's combined a lot of layers. So I think that that's really incredible because it's a major achievement. I think everyone in China, particularly in the Chinese film industry, should be really proud.
This is much more than competitive in the Oscar categories. I'm looking forward to seeing this film compete in next year's Oscars, and I hope to see it so that I have an opportunity to vote for it as well.
I'm so encouraged by what's happening in the Chinese animation market, and I just want to encourage all the script writers and animators and artists out there to continue to reach for great quality. You already have a wonderful culture with interesting legends and folktales. Do that, bring that to the world, and I think they're going to love it and love you for it.
The lesson: originality isn't a barrier, it's a bridge. The question now, is Ne Zha 2 just a spark, or is it a blueprint for a lasting global IP? For now, Ne Zha's fire is burning bright. But to sustain growth beyond the Big Bang, the sequel to this story is still being written. Taoyuan, CGTN, Chengdu.